Hi there, guys. Welcome to the Stainpokes podcast. I'm Dean, and I'm joined this week by the ever triangled faced one called Raymond.
How's it going, folks? I'm Ray for Tricks and Tunes.
Right, Raymond has a YouTube channel. If you want to go check it out, there'll be links everywhere. He does like tricks and tunes, like I say, so he plays guitar and stuff like that, and does a bunch of music.
What you do. Go to be upfront with what you do. What's more upfront than saying that you do tricks and you play tunes?
Exactly. So if you want to check him out, you can go check out his YouTube. There'll be links in the description. If you want to slide to the end of the video, there's things at the end of the video.
You can also go and find me on Instagram and Twitter. I have finally joined the 21st century. I say I've joined the 21st century. I did use Instagram and Twitter years ago, but I couldn't get away from it. Thought it would be another platform to fire covers and stuff onto, and maybe to help build a wee bit of merit and audience. So you can go there, find me on hashtag Tricks and Tunes. Both of them's the same with that one.
I'll hopefully have some sort of thing on the screen, and there'll be links in the description for all the things if you want to do them. And on this channel, I'm Stean PP. I do nothing really in this channel now. I really just do this, and I'm doing like my collection. I own a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs, and I'm doing the collection, walking through my collection and showing them off. So if you want to check them out, they're on this channel. But this week, me and Raymond do this podcast every week, and we talk a lot about our friendship. So we've done a couple of weeks. We've talked about drinking part. We've done about drinking and partying. We've done a couple of weeks about wrestling and being friends and how we became wrestling friends. This week we're going to talk about my house, where I grew up. The house I was technically born in the cul-de-sac, and 11. It was 11 Nelson Place. That's the exact address. And this house was quite a welcome house for Mum and Dad. It was always a welcome house. If you were the rule was, if it was your second appearance in the house, you were no longer a guest. So once you were a guest, once a guest and only a guest. So
that's kind of an unwritten rule that's fully done into my house. So it is. I even hit my mom with that and stuff nowadays. Like, you've been here more than once, you're not a guest anymore. If you want a coffee, you came where it is.
Right, it just becomes a thing that if you want it somewhere, if you want to be in, so if you've been here more than once, you're no longer a guest. Simple as. And it becomes that sort of thing. So that becomes the same as you just walk in. And Raymond became, as we spoke about before, Raymond became a part of furniture in my house. He was my best pals. He always about the house. So Mom and Dad were fed up, starting up and opening the door. So it was just come in, walk in, and he got Mom threatened to break his fingers more than once. For trying to just.
Mommy, your mum threatened to break my fingers once, and once was enough. I didn't need to threaten any more after that.
Oh, fair enough. I
didn't need to shut for any more after that. I just opened the door, and I always stuck my head in the living room to let them ken it was me.
No, just in case, because
it got to the stage. Your mum and dad could set their watch by the time I come into your bit, because it was like 20 minutes after you come in, I would arrive.
They kid it was you. They were hi around. They were saying hiya before you even shut your face in the door. They just knew it was you walking in. And you became a pet of the so that much that Mum even slapped you once. I'm going to let you tell that story, because obviously you were the one getting slapped. So let you talk away about this.
As a daft 16-year-old boy, obviously hormones start to rage when you're in certain situations, and hormones raged. As it happens with most folk, we had a teenage pregnancy. It didn't go to full fruition with an ectopic pregnancy, but when Dean's mammy found out about this, we were standing in the kitchen, and she actually had to take a double take. She turned around and asked, what's been going on the last couple of days? Just, I got a girlfriend pregnant. And she said, all right, nice. And she walked away. Then come back and she hit me with one of the fucking seriousest scalps I've ever been hit with. Like, you felt whack. Whoa, what the fuck? No, this is more than what my ma done to me. My ma found out about it, and her response was, these things happen. Fucking, let's see what we can do about it. No H. Whack. That's a fucking stupid thing to do. It hurt me so hard I nearly fell off the laptop I was sitting on. But fucking turned around and says, "Aye, that's what you done to me. What the fuck did you do to your daughter when she come home and tell you at 16 she was pregnant?" So she got worse. She get booted up and down the street because she's actually mine.
That's the my mum was. Everybody will tell you. Everybody knows my mum always says how lovely a person she was, and she was. She's a lovely person, but she also
She,
treated everybody like her own kid. If you were a young person that came about her house, she treated you like her own. A lot of people who came to a party speak about this.
that's what I was just about to get at. It's not as if she was doing that out of badness. It was, if it was you that done it, she would have done the same.
Aye, I'm sure Bob would help me.
So I would have I get the same treatment that you would have got.
Aye.
That Dave would have got if he had come home in that situation.
You always like coming up to my bit because you when you started smoking, we always had to go about and hide because obviously your mum didn't ken you smoked at that point, but my mum and dad smoked, and you were 16, and in my house, if you were 16, you were to smoke. So you loved coming to my house because you could just sit in my bedroom and I gave you a can or something that became your ashtray. You
something that I could use as an ashtray, aye.
You end up having a can that became your, I think it was a can of rocks, or it just sat at the window and that became your permanent ashtray. It was always for just your sink butts. That was your can, that was your ashtray. And that you loved it because you could just sit about and smoke. And I'm not saying that sounds like that was the only reason you came to my house. It wasn't, obviously, because I tried to smoke.
No,
I was
it wasn't.
at the same time and stuff, but
it was like 9 times out of 10. If we ended up back at your bit, it was because I don't want to be having to go out and fucking find an excuse to go out for a fag in the next half hour. So
and
if we go to your bit, we don't need to be finding excuses to be in and out.
And usually 9 times out of 10 we were at my house, it was because it was raining outside or we were watching wrestling. So why, as you said, why go to your bit where we'd have to try and find an excuse to go outside all the time to smoke when you could just we could sit in my bedroom and halfway smoke away, and mum and dad wouldn't going to give a fuck.
Which is actually quite funny because when we mentioned the thing about the smoking, like when my mum found out about it, she wasn't even that bothered. She was raging for the first like 10 minutes.
Aye, she even knew.
Sent me to my room so she had time to calm down. Then come through the room and says, "Well, I can't really give you a row because I was smoking at your age. Just don't do it in the house and don't expect me to pay for it."
She already knew as well. She always got us doing it the Shah building. So it's not like she didn't care you were smoking. So my mum and dad, I say mum and dad were quite a happy party family. I grew
happy,
up
laid back, relaxed.
But my mum and dad always liked to have my dad was quite a party guy. My dad liked to have parties. My dad liked to drink, so he always had a party. We always had an excuse. It's only an excuse for a party. Great. It was sunny outside. And it was a Saturday. Let's have a party. It was cold outside, and it was a Friday night. Let's have a party. Sort of thing. There was any reason to have a party.
It was sunny on Tuesday. It is no Friday. Let's have a party because it was sunny on Tuesday.
Exactly. There was a reason to have a party. New Year obviously was bigger. Christmas and birthdays were always the big ones, but there was always just random parties in my house, and I only really trusted a few people to come to my house. My sister always invited all her pals from Glasgow and stuff, but as a young 15-year-old boy, some of my pals were a wee bit rowdy, and I knew what they were like at normal house parties, so I didn't trust them. Only a few people were actually allowed to come to my house. That was you, Raymond was allowed. Gary Gree, who I've talked about a few times, was allowed. Jamie Shanklin was allowed to come a few times. He came in at the very last New Year. And a funny story I want to tell before we go into any further on the parties is one of the first ones before me and you were just becoming friends at this point, but you weren't about my house. One of the first New Year parties mum and dad had, we invited the entire neighbourhood, we invited the entire cul-de-sac to the house. And most of them came because we're all friends with them all. So with the Slimmons over, who we spoke about last episode, Dempster, who had a van. Dempster was ever with his family. I still remember this one. This is still one of my favourite memories of New Year parties at my house. His mum's like, right, because Dempster at this point, Dempster would have been, I'd have been young, I'd have been like 14, 15, maybe even younger. Maybe I think I was about 14, so Dempster would have been like 12, 13. So he wasn't really allowed to drink at that point. Nicole would have been a year older than me, so she would have been 16 back then. Wasn't really allowed to drink. Their mum and dad weren't really didn't really let him drink. And my mum and dad let me drink. I was a drinker at that age. I'd been drinking since I was younger than that. And no drinking, a couple of cans here and there. Especially New Year, I got to have a couple of cans. And mum's like, right, Mum, I'll go make you a sherry, a shandy, sorry. I'll go make you a shandy, which is half cider, half Tennent's. It was half Tennent's at that point, half lager, half Tennent's, and half lemonade. I'll go make you all one of these, because then Thames can drink, and then Nicole can drink, and then you can have one, Dean. It's like, right, cool, no worries. You might like it, Dean. It's got lemonade in it. Cool. Drank it. Took one drink out of it and gave it straight to Dempster, because Dempster enjoyed his. And went up to my mum and went, Mum, can I have a food? Can I have a can of beer? Because that's thinking. Do not ever put any drink inside my Tennent's again, because what else is doing? It's thinking. And that's Tennent. That made Tennent's thinking. And that's saying something. Dempster loved it. Dempster drank it right down. But that's saying more about Dempster than anything else. Sorry, Dempster. And then, so then we'll talk about other parties. So then Raymond finally comes to a party. And he walks into the party, red bandana at this point. And Raymond at this point is probably 16. And he walks in and he turns around and says, they call me Axel Rose. Because at that point, a few people, teachers and that, said, hey, had a resemblance to Axel Rose. Now, in my house, as you can tell by my t-shirt, Raymond turned around and said, I look like Axel Rose, but he did kind of look at Axel Rose. If Raymond just went and grabbed something there. He kind of looked a wee bit like him. He kind of did a wee bit. He had long hair and he wore a red bandana. That's kind of similar to as much as he had.
That's where the resemblance ended. That is definitely where the resemblance ended.
But my mum,
fact that I wore a red bandana and I had the long hair.
For some reason, my mum loved this. My mum found this hilarious. Like, every time Raymond, even when mum was sober, that's mum referred Raymond as. And it wasn't just Axel Rose. No. His name wasn't Axel Rose. His name was, they call me Axel Rose. That was his whole name.
Like, I shit you not, a genuine quote from his ma was, they call me Axel Rose, you're here, he's up the stair, there's a plate of chips through there for you.
I can hear it. I can still hear my mum saying it to this day. That one.
Mate, the only thing that can make that better is if I was sitting in this position when I said it. Because that's the position your mum would have been sitting in the chair behind the door.
For the computer. The
computer. We squint at the telly. They call me Axel Rose, he's up the stair, your chips are in the kitchen, see you later on.
Don't quotation from my mum at a party that beats they call me Axel Rose as they call me the Queen Emo, which is if you look at me, you can tell I'm quite clearly into alternative music. Long hair, band t-shirt. I like my heavy metal, Slipknot band tabs, Slipknot things in the background. I'm quite clearly into my music, and my dad's the same, my sister's the same.
Yeah, me, it's alternative.
My sister's the exact same. My brother not as much, but my sister's the same. And all these people that came from the house, mum called our kids, we're all kind of the same. We're all into this heavy music. But a couple of people that came in from the house were kind of into emo sort of stuff, like the emo haircut and stuff. Mum got really drunk one night and changed her hair into the big emo fringe and just went, they call me the Queen Emo. My kids might be washers, but they call me the Queen Emo. So at this point, my mum is
all my wains are washers. But I'm the Queen Emo. That was the best party. I love hearing that story because I can remember. I know the exact face that she would have been pulling. Seeing that face sober, just hearing her telling the story. Because
Aye.
that was one thing, your mum and dad, if anything, they knew how to laugh at themselves.
Oh, aye. Aye.
So they did. Your mum was as proud as punch telling the Queen Emo story.
Like, because it was one of our big stories. It was funny. It was hilarious at that moment. That was one of the funniest party moments, just because of
If
how
I
how
remember rightly, that was that no doing to like a litre bottle or something that was bought for Christmas or something?
probably.
That
Oh
led
no,
to the
no,
Queen Emo?
it would have been probably a Christmas bonus, because that's what she always go for a Christmas bonus, was a two bottles of vodka.
See, I knew it was something along the lines. I couldn't. I knew it was. It was a special occasion bottle. It wasn't just a like a party bottle that she was drinking that led to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Aye.
get what I mean, like the Christmas bonus makes sense.
Yeah. It's
That
probably
that would have been.
that and a couple of bottles of Bailey's probably. But aye. So a few folk got to come to my parties. As I said, there was you, there was Dempster, there was Jamie Shanklin, and then there was Gary Lowe. Gary Lowe's famous moment
See,
at my bat.
when
You want to tell
we're
it?
talking about this story, you need to actually put a link to that picture. So you do
Yeah, I'll try and see if I
the
can find it again.
flashback picture.
I'll post that picture up here. So this is the night that this is quite a famous night. This one, this a few things happened this night, but during this night, Gary Lowe appeared at my bat. This is another New Year's night, and he brought a cigar with him. And Gary Lowe is some boy. Anybody that knows Gary knows who Gary is and knows what type of boy Gary is. And Gary shouldn't be able to smoke cigars. I've seen Gary smoke cigars a couple of times, and every time it always turns bad. He done it at prom, and he did this. Everybody else started smoking the cigar about 10 minutes before Gary. Gary then thought he had to then catch up everybody at prom, so he then started smoking it and smoking it and smoking it. He then finished the cigar before everybody else, and then within 5 minutes was waiting at prom. The boy was state.
That's mate. That doesn't even surprise me.
An actual state. And that was him not even thinking that much. That was just on the cigar.
Like, that reminds me of when Tommy mentioned the last time I seen him about Gary, and that was that Gary is the only person he's ever known that can fall asleep eating a jelly snake. And the way he explained it, you could totally see Gary doing it, and it was a case of the jelly snake came to the mouth, he bit into it, went to put it away, his son got to hear and he was asleep.
I've heard that story.
So the horn just kept falling down and kept stretching the jelly snake. It's not even that funny a story, but knowing Gary, you can totally see it. Knowing Gary, I have seen Gary fall asleep really quickly. I have seen Gary fall asleep at the flat in some strange positions.
Mm-hmm.
But that is one where I wish the fucker was sitting in the fucking couch at the end of the couch while he done that.
Oh, that's brilliant. Aye.
But
aye.
It's just one of the kind of things. It's Gary for you. It's Gary Lowe, the boy that's got 52 phones in a year.
Aye, because he's still walking behind these. Do you want to tell a story about the time he smoked the cigar at my bit?
No, you finished that one, man.
No,
It was
on
just
you
when
go.
you. On you go, man. It was just when you had mentioned the random Gary things. That was all.
Aye, so oh Jesus! Aye, so Gary decided to smoke a cigar yet again at my bit. Remember, I'm trying to remember. No, I'm remembering my mum's wake. Where he turned like all colours of green, which he did this time as well, because instead of like a cigar, when you smoke a cigar, you're meant to smoke the cigar, and instead of smoking, smoke a cig, you inhale. With a cigar, you don't inhale. No, Gary didn't. Gary didn't. Gary's not the smartest of boys. He's not the quicker. He's a genius. Gary's a really smart boy. He's just not got much common sense, and then he didn't care. He said inhaling the cigar. Yeah, Gary turned green. Gary turned yellow. Like my Bumblebee is probably more the colour Gary turned. Like he was some colour. He went
Mhm.
all different shades, and then talking about that colour green. And then next thing you know, he was upstairs in the toilet being sick because again, not even alcohol related. Like most times with Gary, it's not alcohol related. The only time it's alcohol related is when I need to tuck him into his bed when his 18th birthday party. That's a story for another day. And then
Mate, we probably could piece together a whole episode with Gary Lowe stories,
Gary was stories like
which
the
would
bar.
actually be quite cool, Gary, if you're watching that. Do you fancy doing that one, Nick? The
Oh,
three
aye,
years will go in for that.
And then the night we had to appear at your bit after a gig at Air because we missed the train after a Brisbane Thing gig. That was a fun night. Right then my favourite moment, probably the moment that gets spoke about the most is
We have
Raymond.
spoke about this moment on 3 separate occasions this year.
Yeah. I've spoken at this moment with my dad. My dad brings this moment up. This is the moment that gets spoken about when Raymond gets spoken about. This is one of the big moments that gets spoken about with Raymond from all my family. This is that. This is Raymond's pasta adventure.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
you may be questioning what I mean by Ray's pasta adventure. Now,
It
mum and
was a
dad had
fucking
these big
adventure going to
parties.
pasta.
As I say, yes, my ass. So, as I say, mum and dad had big parties, and in New Year we had big parties, and always made food for everybody because we were drinking and we were eating. We were drinking all night. Mum always made soup. Every year, my mum made two big pots of soup, one for New Year's night, New Year's Eve, and one New Year's night, one for New Year's Day, because we two big parties, 2 days. And well, one year my dad decided to make this pasta. Now Raymond still goes for this pasta. Raymond loves this pasta. Raymond wants a recipe for this pasta. That is going to my dad's will that this pasta goes to Raymond. Raymond loves this recipe. Like that, this is his favorite recipe ever. And it,
I don't care what your dad puts in it. They must lace it with heroin or something to make me that into it. But Dean's talking about how much I love this pasta. I'm talking, see, the probably the medium-sized soup pot.
mm-hmm.
Not the biggest one, but the medium-sized one. Full of pasta. I tried it. Oh, that's fucking lovely. So I had another bowl. I had 2 cans of beer. I had a fucking another bowl. Oh, everybody's coming into the kitchen and getting haunted drinks, and I'm haunting out this pasta. It's fucking dry,
Sorry,
that's man.
No, at my house it was help yourself. That was the same year that Gary Lowe walked into my house. Gary Lowe's that was the same year as the cigar. And Gary asked me, Dean, can I have some pasta? And I went, aye, of course, when you go. Gary then walks into the kitchen. Now I'm in the living room. Gary walks into the kitchen. Turns run. Like, wait, about 5 minutes. 5 minutes class. So I'm expecting Gary to walk back in with his pasta. Or at least walk in with a bowl, or walk in with a big smile on his face because just ate pasta. He walks in, he walks up to him and goes, Dean, can I get a plate? I didn't answer him. I went, Gary asked you one. No, I can't answer your question. You asked if you could get pasta. The answer was a yes. That implied go eat pasta. I didn't mean to eat it with your hand. The Gary was the type of guy that
You
started
don't expect to can I have some pasta? Yes. The answer to the can I have
can I go? 5 minutes. So he went into the kitchen, stood there, and obviously thought, how am I eating this pasta? I knew Gary, if you know Gary, you know these thoughts went through Gary's mind of how am I going to eat this pasta? He probably stood there for the 5 minutes and went, I need a plate. How did I get this plate? I need to go asking for the plate. No, you know his next question after getting the plate was, can I get a fork? but he still gets slagged off for can I get a plate? So therefore he can't.
See, that's not even the thing here. Like, man, Gary is just the kind of person that is that polite that see if he needs to go to the toilet, he will ask like nicely.
At a night when
Like,
we're out drinking, when we're sitting there drinking, we're all drinking. So you just go to go pee when you want to. Gary will go, can I go use the toilet? Every time. He's just a polite boy. That's his manners. It's a good thing.
Aye.
But can I get a plate? So that's pasta.
Like when he asked for the pasta, the answer to the question, can I get a plate, was implied in the yes. Like you said, he asked for pasta, you said yes, that means go and eat pasta. It is implied that yes, you can have a plate to eat that pasta off it.
I can just see him.
See, fairness, mate. Hey, we're not even finished the fucking pasta adventure, and we'll get to the fact that I did in fact eat pasta without a plate that night.
Aye, but that's because there was no plates left at that point. But yeah, so we'll get back to the pasta. So my dad made this pasta you loved, and
everybody else is passing drink out. I'm passing pasta.
I'm still laughing at Gary. And then so you 1 minute. So yeah, you love this pasta. You were passing this pasta to everybody who came in for drinks. Try this pasta. Everybody was try this pasta. I know the secret ingredient. There's no much secret ingredient to it. It's just a jolly pasta sauce with some garlic, with some chili powder in it. It's that simple.
Aye, but I'm not going to believe that. It was. I don't believe you made the pasta. So if that's what was written on the bit of paper, I get off your da. Then fair dues.
So Raymond's starting at this pasta all night. So then end of the night, Raymond goes away with some pasta. Mom and dad give him pasta, but he's all going to own a wee plate at this point because we had some like plastic plate, no plastic paper plates. So he's off away home. Happy as Larry.
Happy as a pig in shit, man. Fucking happier than a gypsy's dog with 2 cocks.
And this
That's
is the
how
same year.
cheery I was. I've got pasta for tomorrow morning, man. Ideal. Weak.
And so
pasta lads in the fucking.
This is the exact same year as Snake Shoots and Ladders. So we spoke about that. That was a bad winter that year where everywhere was snowy. And this was like 4 days after Snakes and Ladders. So this is New Year's Day, New Year's night, New Year's Eve night. And so it was all icy everywhere. And outside my house was a lane with set of stairs. And then my head's out the lane. Now, at this point, I'm upstairs about to go. Like, I think I was upstairs, I'm getting ready for a whitey before going to my bed. And I could see, I actually seen you falling. I remember seeing you falling out my wee window, out my lobby, because I had a wee lobby window. And
Mate, why were you not shooting that night? Why were you not fucking filming it?
Raven's away.
There's fucking 250 quid I lost it on.
Oh, Jesus. Raven's already done the lane, half as Larry. And next thing I see, it's just this pasta flop, not the pasta, but the plate going up in the air, and Raven's legs going up in the air. And then next thing I can, next thing I can, I hear is the front door going. The front door going, and Raymond walks in and goes, I'm like, you all right, Raymond? Raymond's just, I've just fell. Raymond's like, everybody's like, you're right, he's all right. He's like, I lost my pasta.
I always didn't care about me. I was gutted I didn't have the pasta for the next morning.
Pasta gone.
No,
like, I lost my pasta.
I was happy as a pig in shit when I left. I had pasta for my breakfast. When I come back, I didn't have pasta for my breakfast.
So he gets given a nice plate of pasta. But this time he's like, but what if I fall away home? Then I can't get more pasta. So he takes the plate of pasta and does this and puts it in his pocket. Fills 2 pockets of pasta and then fills the plate up with more pasta. Now, as I say, Mum and Dad made hundreds of pasta, so then he really gave 2 fucks, so you could take, help yourself. So he was off this plate of pasta and 2 pockets, bulgy for pasta. Happy as Larry. I've got my pasta.
Mate, I don't know who the fuck Larry was, but I was definitely happier than him.
Oh,
even mate, I'm happier than Larry Manu. Just thinking of it. It's fucking hilarious.
The pasta, you're not pasta, just stuffed in your pockets. I'm off with my pasta.
Hey mate, if I fell, the pasta on the plate might have went fleeing, but the pasta in the pockets was fine.
Have you seen the movie The Hobbit? You seen the meme for The Hobbit where he's I'm off on an adventure? That was Raymond, but with pasta in his pockets, and the staff was made of pasta.
That's why it is forever going to be known as Ray's Pasta Adventure.
Oh,
Mate, I intend, see when the record deal comes through, and I'm getting invited onto talk shows and shit. We are going on to talk shows to tell the story of Ray's Pasta Adventure.
oh, Ray's Pasta Adventure. Oh fuck. I love Ray's Pasta Adventure. That story, it still makes me piss myself.
Like, genuinely, as I said before we started talking about that, like fucking, we have told this story, or at least spoke about this 3 times this year.
Mm-hmm.
That just between the 2 years.
I
don't know how many times you spoke about it, but I've told that story 2 or 3 times in all.
I think I've talked with my dad. I think me and my dad spoke about it 2 or 3 times as well this year. Like, it's just my dad talks. It's one of the things that comes up. It comes up in conversations because it's in the thing that Dark Roads was my mum. My mum remembers Dark Roads. My dad talks about the pasta because he made the pasta. So that comes up in conversations. My dad talks about him making pasta. If that comes up, as you eating the pasta every time.
Aye.
So
It was like that time. It was like that time you sent me the message saying your dad had a dream about winning the lottery, and you did this, that, and the other, and I was just there.
Aye.
What was I doing? Nothing in particular. It was Ray. He's just there.
My dad's got this thing where he's going to win the lottery. My dad only plays the Euro Millions. He plays the Euro Millions every week, and for some reason he's got it in his head that he's going to win it. And when he wins it, he's going to build this big house. It's more like a house in a scheme. He's going to build this big gated community sort of thing for a house for him, a house for me and Alison, a house for my mother-in-law, and then he's got the gate house there's a house for Raymond. And he's built my dad's a weirdo, that's why my dad's like into his grand designs, and he builds different houses and different styles. Every couple of months he'll go and start building a different inn in his house. And every single one Raymond's involved in. Because it's Raymond. Which is amazing. He's just there. He's just got it. Raymond's just involved.
Raymond is just the folk need a horn, they phone him.
No, Raymond's there. He's in the house. He's got.
As we said before about fucking with Jamie. Jamie knew us for a grand total of fucking 2 weeks. She had met me 3 times and I helped pack her house up.
I think it's to the fact you've got a security badge though. You're becoming the gateman. I think you're just a security. Sunday breaks into the gate community. Who's the first to see? The guy with the security badge.
The security badge, but then you've got to remember the security badge is attached to this dodgy coupon.
Aye, true.
And in fairness, I've not got that for much longer.
No.
It runs out in June.
Oh, and get updated.
Because I'm not working in security at the moment, man, I'm not going to bother. It's only going to cost me 250 quid to re-up it if I do need it again, so I'll figure it out if I need it again. But another thing that talking about parties at your mum and dad's bit, like something that always springs to mind was AJ building a bed.
So that would have been the last year. That would have been the last ever party. That one was again me, you. Was that not that wasn't a picture? That's a picture.
I think might have been
the picture episode. But Jamie's on the picture, but Jamie Shanklin was also there that year. I met him outside in the lane, and he walked past with one of his dad's a couple of bottles of his dad's Homebrew wine. Ooh. And he ended up in the house. We ended up partying. Jamie loves that night. Jamie still talks about that night. But that was the night.
Barney definitely kens how to brew a hangover.
Oh, aye, because I hangover 3 days. That stuff was dynamite. So AJ, as I say, my mum and dad with parties, we always had parties, even when I was a kid, with parties before I was even when I was like a young man. And we were always allowed to be there. As long as we were only being
Aye,
guests or being in Russians, we were allowed to be there. And
aye,
we were exact same when it came to the kids, came to my niece and nephew, my sister's two kids. Because my sister was there anyway, and my mum and dad were there, so the kids were allowed to run about. 9 times out of 10, Sky was taking pictures, and Aaron was singing on the cover of Rolling Stone and being a wee bit, yeah, being a cool kid. That's what happened. But AJ, one night, AJ decided I didn't want to miss the party. So he ended up went and made a wee bed under the dinette table. And the dinette was all laminated, was like a, no laminate, that's not the word. So I'll say laminate. It wasn't laminate flare, but it was that type of style. It was like tiles flared, so it was dance hall. So AJ's lying under the table whilst everybody's in the hall, in the rooms, dancing to probably the tune that sums up every party at my house. And every time I think of it, I think of the party. I think of every
aye,
party at my house. That song got played probably 3 or 4 times a night at a party because it just became that iconic song. The song by Matchbox, Rockabilly Rebel. Now, if you've not heard
aye.
that song, go listen to it. It is a
Oh,
fucking great
definitely, mate.
rock
Fucking,
and roll song.
it's one of those songs that, like, see if you're feeling down, but Rockabilly Rebel on, that's you're bouncing, you're
Aye,
sorted.
aye. I put it on my work a couple last week because it was like, yeah, play Rockabilly. I went up and just went play Matchbox and Rockabilly Rebel come on first. So I was like, yes, bouncing about the kitchen, dancing, just like mum and dad and everybody else did that night. Because
But
that was
that's another one as well. That what you're saying, Rockabilly Rebel would have been on 3 or 4 times a night, and every single time your father would have been front and centre.
aye, aye,
So
aye.
right,
Every time his
middle of the
dancing
dance
getting
floor,
worse.
middle of the dance floor. Right, folks, I need Matchbox. Get Rockabilly Rebel on.
Aye, I ain't walking up.
Right, he's watching.
Person needs livened up a bit. 3 o'clock in the 3 o'clock at night, and everybody's starting to sleep. My dad's like, Rockabilly Rebel time. Come on. Not every time.
See, that's the thing as well, man. Your mum and dad definitely out partied the majority of the youngsters.
Aye, aye, mum and dad in their 40s and out partying 20-year-olds every time,
Aye,
no matter what.
every time without fail, fucking Drew and H were front and centre.
No, my dad.
And
Well, we say that.
the,
We say that. We say that. Right. We say that. We say my mum and dad. We say my mum and dad. My dad could party until he drank too much, and then he had to rest his eyes.
aye,
Because
I had
he
to go
rests
for
his
his
eyes.
desk.
No. He wasn't sleeping. He was just resting his eyes.
Aye, that's what it meant. Rest your eyes, man. He was out cold. The disco off.
Like he was just resting his eyes every time, no matter what. And then that's when his time to shine, to like decorate his face with stickers and stuff.
Mate, another one I remember was fucking Adam McNaughton bamming everybody up by telling Sky to count. I mentioned that
So
before.
much. Aye.
Sky would be sitting gibbering away and talking to somebody and not even making any sense half the time. So Adam would just turn around and go, Sky, let me hear you count to 400.
Aye. And Sky
And
would
then there she would go, 1, 2, 3. And she wouldn't stop, no matter how much her mom gave her the look.
no.
Adam would just egg her on and egg her on and egg her on.
Aye, because the boy could do that. The boy was good at just egging Sky on. Just go good to 400. Sky, good to 500. Every time she would just do it. Just 1, 2, 3, 500.
All that time. Let me hear you cook to 600 all this stuff.
Aye, I don't believe you can get that high. Don't think you can get that high. Every time. And Sky was like 5. She was like in nursery. Silly.
Aye, like as I said, proud as you like, happy to do it.
Mm-hmm. So I think that
You need stuff, couldn't it? I'm 5, I'll count it for you.
I could all the way up. I think that wraps us up for the cul-de-sac episode.
Aye, man, we were talking about it before. I kind of half expected us to run on for ages about that, but we managed to batter through it pretty quick.
No, it's got a wee kind
We
of
did
we stories, we stories were all add up to big things, big moments, or wee things we remember.
Talking to add up, now that we look back on it, is we realise that that's actually off. Pretty much most of the stories was for the 1 year.
Aye, for the last
They
2
were like
years at least. To the last,
the last 2 or 3.
because his pasta was the second last, and then that the Rockabilly Rebel was the last one. But to be fair, Rockabilly Rebel was like every birthday, and not just New Year. It was, as I say, it was on Tuesday, so that's our birthday, and then it was on the Saturday night.
Aye.
It was played then day, just because let's play it on because it was a good song.
It was like Loch Lomond at a wedding.
Aye, that was a Loch Lomond.
Scottish wedding, you're going to hear Loch Lomond 500 mile, living in a prayer, that's the bright side.
At my wedding here in Matchbox, Rockabilly Rebel. That's a Loch Lomond. The friendly title song.
Mate, see if that's the case, me and you need to learn how to do the pure fucking rockabilly style dancing. Proper dancing, me and you up there fucking front and centre the way your dad used to.
No, I don't dance. But yeah, so
I don't dance either, but I think that'd be funny as fuck to catch you on video.
Aye.
Folk need to put comments in and tell us if you want us to do it.
Aye. So
that's fucking away that this is real, so there's no point in me saying it.
Just talk that out. No, we won. Honest. Yeah. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. As I've said at the beginning of the video, go check out Raymond's channel. There'll be a link at the very end of this video. For you to go check out his channel, go see him playing songs, and go give him a subscribe. If you liked what you've seen here, if you like this video, leave a like, leave a subscribe to see the next episode. We should be live every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. When I say live, the new podcast every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. That is the plan. Anyway, 7 o'clock British time. I don't know what that is anywhere else, but 7 o'clock British time will always be. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
So much of Harwich.